So I am on the way to do an interview virtually, but I just basically booked a room in the library, so I'm not doing it in my house, no distraction, right? When the kids got out of school, stuff, blah blah blah. And just something I'm learning through my interview process, and just I will talk about just what I'm learning in my work life as well. That's a part of the growth part in my about me section that I haven't touched on a lot, but I think the Lord has really brought me to look at my heart and why I'm doing things. What is the intent of why I'm doing something? And so in this interview process, I've already had two jobs, right, that I've really interviewed for. I've actually turned down an interview as well, and it was hard to turn down the interview because I'm like, I really need a job, but I'm like, this really doesn't align. So am I just settling for something? And then for the one other job that I got an interview for, I didn't move past the first round. Oh my gosh, this road is so busy. I hate this road. They need to put a light here. But I prepped a whole slide deck about myself and my 30, 60, 90. And then I didn't even get to touch on it in the interview. I didn't touch on it until after. So I was just this road is terrible. Hold on. This road. Let me go. Nobody's letting me go. This is terrible. If you still are watching, because I will post this, you are so patient. You cannot drive and record at the same time. I don't think you should. It's probably not good. But I'm being safe. It's on the dash. I'm not holding it. I'm looking at the road. But what I learned was I made these slides and I had all that, and then I didn't even give it to her after, and I didn't make it past the first round. And I was kind of shocked because I asked her for feedback, and she was like, well, at this level, we would want you to have more travel experience. We would want, and I'm just like, is that really it? Or maybe they were looking for a certain fit, right? You get in your head about all these things, and then it's like, okay, it just wasn't the right fit. And then what I feel like I learned from that interview is that I'm still trying to prove something, prove that I'm, worth that level, that I can actually make that amount of money, that, okay, I'm gonna make these slides and do all this stuff. It just overcompensating when I don't need to try to prove that the role is for me. If the role is for me, it's gonna be for me. That's just what I've even learned in previous roles that I've had. And so I just wanted to say, whatever is for you is for you. And I'm on the way to this virtual interview. I have made a slide of a timeline approach I would have, but I'm only gonna bring it up. And this is for my corporate people, because a lot of people are like, how do you stand out in an interview process? And I feel like I definitely have great strategies in what I do, but I don't want to overcompensate. I don't have to prove that I'm good for the role. I already have the experience. I can speak to them, and that should be it. I don't have to do something else to one up. But I think one thing you can do, if you really do want to stand out, you're not doing it from a place of I have something to prove, right? Because now this is the third interview with the same company. And so that's why I'm just okay, if I'm really a top candidate, I don't know. They said they're still interviewing people, blah, blah, blah. I always think, like, where can I go above and beyond? And I think one of those is good. Like, that one part of it is like, hey, that's a good thing, of like, you're already doing the job while in the interview. I think that's what sets you apart. But if you're doing it from a place of like, hey, like, I don't even know if I'm good enough for this role, I need to like actually do something to make it look like I can keep up. And I think maybe I have the skills, knowledge, qualities, capabilities to do the first role I'm telling you about, but because of the title and certain things, I think I was already putting myself down, which is already an L. That's negative. So, like I said, what's for you is for you, and you don't have to necessarily strive for it. It's going to be yours because the Lord, especially if you're letting the Lord lead your process. Like, I'm praying, like, Lord, please lead me to a place where I can build my confidence again. You know, I've been out of work for 6 months now, and I'm just like, what went wrong? Where did I go wrong? And I've talked about this in a couple of my other videos, and I think a lot of it was grief and some mental health things, but also just like the culture of the company, a lot of different things that I just didn't align with me as a person. And so that it almost changed and altered me. And so now I'm here like, okay, Lord, can you please lead me to a place where I can build my confidence again, you know? And so I think, you know, being prayed, and I'm like, I know it's not gonna have to be a perfect place either, because, you know, there's no perfect place. It's just like church. There's no perfect church. There's no perfect anything when there's people involved. So I just, you know, just want to build that confidence. And that's in my work, and then also how I show up as well. Not from a fake perspective, but just, hey, how I show up at work. I'm willing to do the hard work. I'm willing to honor my leaders. I'm willing to go extra mile at times, but then I'm also willing to invoke boundaries where needed. Like, I want to build my confidence in me and Holy Spirit, because like, when I've done my best work is when I'm aligned with where the Lord has me. Anytime I've gone or veered out, it hasn't worked. And, you know, it's just, oh wow, I just missed my turn for the library. That is hilarious, but I can go this way. But I just, it's hilarious to me sometimes, because I'm just like, yeah, every time that I felt like I was praying and the Lord was leading, it was so much better than when I just made an emotional decision or a decision based on money. So yeah, what's for you is for you. You might try to take something that's not really meant for you, and that's where the head bumping and the learning comes in. But for this, I do have, you know, I after that first interview where I didn't get past the first round with a different company, I was like, you know what, I think I'm striving too much, because I still have this almost trauma or response to, like, I have to prove that I'm good enough for this job. And I need to know that I'm good in this field. I need to know that I'm good in this job, and I need to bring that to the table. I can't be like, oh my gosh, poor me, I've been through this and this. It's like, okay, those decisions happen. How do we actually move forward? How do we actually like show up and have a comeback? And that's only through the Lord. And I've just been praying and praying and praying, because if it was really up to me, I would not be going back to work. I really wouldn't, because I just feel so frazzled and fragile. But I'm in a place now where I'm really to face something hard, and also bring what I have in my toolbox. Like, you got to remind yourself. And I've even had friends remind me, like, Jazz, like, you're a very competitive applicant for these roles. Like, what are you talking about? You've done this, this, and this. You've done this, this, and this. And plus, everything you touch is gold. Like, you got to have people in your life that remind you. And one of my friends, he told me, it was so profound. honestly, it was so profound because he just has so much joy and encouragement in his spirit. He's just such an encourager. And he was like, when he was going through his interview process, he's not in a job that he really wants to be right now. He's just trying to get on his feet to come back. He's an engineer, and he told me when I was interviewing, I was telling them they don't know who the F they're about to hire. They don't know who the F they are about to hire right now. And at first I was just kind of like, because I really was like, I don't bring anything to the table. I just bring sorrow and grief and destruction, but woe is me, but he's like, they don't know who the fuck they about to hire. And I'm just like, wow, you really believe what you're saying. You really believe it. And in my mind, even through my interviews, I've been trying to think of okay, this is what I will really bring to the table to set you guys apart. This is what I have, done before, and I would love to do again. And I'm aligned. This is my purpose and why I want to align it with this. Because I think when you're purpose driven, it just hits different. Like if you're just transactional, being at work, it is an exchange, right? Like not everyone's your friend. There's a lot of stuff. I might start a channel on office politics and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is just be led by the Spirit. And I think it's okay to have confidence in what you've done before. And that's what I learned from my friend. It's like, he said, they don't know who the F they about to hire. Like, I'm like, what? I've never even... I think there's a way to be humble, but there's also a way where it's prideful and you're being too humble in a sense. Like, the Lord will do great things through you. You're yielded, you're surrendered to the Lord. So what are we doing? Okay, I got my stuff. I'm ready to go. But yeah, you already know what you're doing. So it's like, why don't we just, actually believe what greatness that he's put in us, And so, I don't know. I just, like I said, I pray that I'm led to a place where I can really enact that in my life. But I don't know. I just think what's for you is for you. But you also have to know what you're bringing to the table. Not in a prideful way, but in a way where not like you're just so down on yourself. Like, oh, I haven't done this. I haven't done that. It's like, really, girl? Like, if y'all saw my resume, you'd really be like, what are you talking about? And that's not from a prideful place, because I still feel like I haven't really done anything. But a lot of people, when they see these companies and they see these things and they're like, girl, what are you talking about? You've done this, you've impacted this. But I think I have to start reminding myself in who God created me to be, and I will succeed in Jesus' name. So what's yours for you?